I'd like to welcome you to the Gospel Gold Radio Hour.
It's hard to say what I need to say to pay the debt that I need to pay, but with His love I can find a way to face another day. I thank God for second chances, new start, no backward glances. He sees past the circumstances. He is the God of second chances. As far as heaven soars above, the width and breadth of His endless love, as far as the east is from the west, our shame erased, forever blessed. I thank God for second chances, new start, no backward glances. He sees past the circumstances. He is the God of second chances. God shed His blood on Calvary, a second chance for you and me. Wash away our every sin and spend eternity with Him. I thank God for second chances, new start, no backward glances. He sees past the circumstances. He is the God of second chances. He treads our sin under His footsteps, cast it to the bottom of the sea. I thank God for second chances, new start, no backward glances. He sees past the circumstances. He is the God of second chances. The God of second chances.
That's the Churchman, brand new from the Churchman. Excuse me. Shadow of the Cross is the name of the new project. God of Second Chances was the tune. We're going to be featuring the Steels, the King James Boys, the Churchman, as I said. Rob Ox and Trey Hensley's got a new project out. I've got a gospel tune lined up off of it. And also the Guardians. This has been out since summer of 22, but it is one fine project. I'm going to play some of the Guardians' Come On In project. That's also going to be our featured Stowtown Records artist spotlight this Sunday, which comes to you each Sunday at 12 noon Eastern. Let's continue on. Here's the Steels off of their brand new Be the Reason project. This one's called Undefeated.
When lies are drowning out the truth, and the enemy has me confused, when waves of doubt have me consumed, I show my fears your empty tomb. I show my fears your empty tomb. Every battle that you fight, you win. Even when all the walls walls are caving in. I know I'm safe as long as you defend. You're undefeated, you're undefeated. I can hear the sound of victory. It is falling down as we sing. The God of everything is fighting for me. You're undefeated, you're undefeated.
Every sickness has to run, and every curse has been undone. 'Cause God, you have already won.
Still greater things are yet to come. Still greater things are yet to come. Every battle that you fight, you win. Even when all the walls are caving in, I know I'm safe as long as you defend. You're undefeated, you're undefeated. I can hear the sound of victory. It is falling down as we sing. The God of everything is fighting for me. You're undefeated, you're undefeated. You're the champion, you're the champion. So tell me who can stand against the God who reigns victorious. You're the champion, you're the champion. So tell me who can stand against the God who reigns victorious. You're the champion, you're the champion. So tell me who can stand against the God who reigns victorious. Every battle that you fight, you win. Even when all the walls are caving in, I know I'm safe as long as you defend. You're undefeated, you're undefeated. I can hear the sound of victory. It is falling down as we sing. The God of everything is fighting for me. You're undefeated, you're undefeated. You're the champion, you're the champion. So tell me who can stand against the God who reigns victorious.
When Jesus walked on water, he said, Peter, come to me. And Peter stepped out of the boat onto a stormy sea. But he began to sink in fear as winds began to rage. And Jesus took his hand and said, Oh, you of little faith, before you can walk on water, you've gotta walk on faith in the Son and the Holy Father and their precious saving grace. When the waves of fear surround you, cast your doubts away. Before you can walk on water, you've gotta walk on faith. When tossed in troubled waters, miles from any shore, and the devil drops his anchor down to the ocean floor, just keep your eyes on Jesus. That's what Peter did not do. As long as you believe in him, your faith will carry you. Before you can walk on water, you've gotta walk on faith in the Son and the Holy Father and their precious saving grace. When the waves of fear surround you, cast your doubts away. Before you can walk on water. You've gotta walk on faith. Before you can walk on water, you've gotta walk on faith in the Son and the Holy Father and their precious saving grace. When the waves of fear surround you, cast your doubts away. Before you can walk on water, before you can walk on water, you gotta walk on faith.
Walking out this morning beneath the blue skies of your grace, all my sin forgiven and all my shame erased. And I thought to myself, why you smiling so much? You know who you were and you know what you've done. But then I thought to myself, I'm completely redeemed and I'm loved. 'Cause you are the great, great God of my joy. You are the reason for the noise of celebration and highest praise. No matter the season or the circumstance, I'm lifting grateful hands. 'Cause you are the great, great, great God of my Not that I'm special, and it's nothing that I've done, but there's just no forgetting just where you brought me from. See, I've traded my sorrows for rays of your grace, ashes for beauty and heartache for praise. This world didn't give it, and this world can't take it away. 'Cause you are the great, great God of my joy. You are the reason for the noise of celebration and highest praise. No matter the season or the circumstance, I'm lifting grateful hands. 'Cause you are the great, great, great God of my joy. Great God of my joy. In the hard times, in the good times, in the peace and pain, in the laughter, in the sorrow, through the things I can't explain.
In my rising up, in my laying down for the rest of all my days.
I will rest 'cause all is well, and it'll be the choice I'll make. 'Cause you are the great, great God of my joy. You are the reason for the noise of celebration and highest praise. No matter the season or the circumstance, I'm lifting grateful hands. 'Cause you are the great, great, great God of my joy. You are the great, great, great God of my joy. Great God of my joy. You are the great God. You are the great God.
My joy.
You are the great God. You are the great God.
Some of the latest from Jim and Melissa Brady, Great God of My Joy. Just exceptional. I think that song is I mean, Jim and Melissa's on the top of their game right now. The King James Boys as well in that set with Walk on Faith. That was a special track sent to us by our friends at Pinecastle. Appreciate that tremendously. And the Steels have a brand new project. I think it's got 7 or 8 tunes on it. It's called Be the Reason, and we had the song Undefeated in that set. Actually kicked that set off. Rob Ox and Trey Hensley were here locally a couple of days ago performing. I missed it. Didn't hear about it until like a day after it was over. But anyway, they got a brand new project, and we got a tune lined up off of it. The new project's called Living in a Song. And let's see, got a tune from the Guardians. I think the Come On In project is just exceptional. Got that back, looks like in August of 22. And then another brand new project, Starlet and Big John, Living in the South. And we have a song lined up off of it. So let's kick this set off with Rob Ox and Trey Hensley. This is track 11 off their brand new project.
Thought I saw a carpenter coming down the road. He didn't have a hammer, but he had a heavy load. He reached his nail-scarred hands, and I caught a glimpse of home when I saw the carpenter coming down the road. Saw a carpenter dressed in only white. We had never met before, but I've known him my whole life. In his eyes I saw forgiveness, like the stories I've been told. When I saw the carpenter coming down the road, said, I'm glad to see you, son, but now is not your time. You got more roads to travel before you put your hand in mine. He said, no matter what's ahead, you'll never walk alone. I'll always be beside you till it's time to come back home. To travel before you put your hand in mine. He said, no matter what's ahead, you'll never walk alone. I'll always be beside you till it's time to come back home. Thought I saw a carpenter coming down the road. He didn't have a hammer, but he had a heavy load. in this house.
Well, why don't you
Come on in this house.
Yeah, why don't you
Come on in this house. Come on in this house of the Lord. You know we're seeking soul salvation. Come on in this house. Well, we're seeking soul salvation. Come on in this house, yeah. Seeking soul salvation. Come on in this house. Come on in this house of the Lord.
Now Jesus said to Peter, on this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against the rock that availeth much. In every city I'll build a church, on a solid rock it'll stand, and I'll say,
Shelter.
Listen children, go and come again. You got a standing invitation
To my Father's house.
Oh, standing invitation
To my Father's house, yeah.
Standing invitation
To my Father's house. Come on in this house of the Lord. Come and go with me to my Father's house, to my Father's house. Come and go with me to my Father's house, to my Father's house. There's peace and joy and love. There's victory from above. Come and go with me to my Father's house, to my Father's house.
Why don't you
Come on in this house.
Why don't you
Come on in this house, yeah.
Why don't you
Come on in this house. Come on in this house of the Lord.
Good time.
Good time. We're gonna have a
We're
time.
gonna have a good time.
Good time. We're gonna have a
Come on,
time.
clap your hands.
Good time. We're gonna have a time.
Somebody take a stand and testify.
Get up out of your seat.
You know there's healing
In this house.
salvation
In this house.
There's happiness
In this house.
You will be blessed
In this house. Come on in this house of the Lord. House of the Lord. House of the Lord. You'll find peace in the house of the Lord. You'll find joy in the house of the Lord. You'll find hope in the house of the Lord. Come on, come on, come on. Come on in this house of the Lord. House of the Lord. House of the Lord.
I'm safely in the arms of Jesus, held like a mother holds her babe. I'm safely in the arms of Jesus, and I will be when He calls me away. Say, old time preacher man, could you help me understand just what you've got that always keeps you smiling? Like a mother holds her babe, I'm safely in the arms of Jesus, and I will be when he calls me away. Yes, I will be when he calls me away.
Starlet and Big John, Safely in the Arms of Jesus. That's off of their Living in the South project. Also had the Guardians in set with a title track off of Come On In, and kicked it off with a new one from Rob Oxtrey Hensley, Thought I Saw a Carpenter. This is Danny Hensley, your station and program host, and of course you're listening to Southern Branch Bluegrass and Gospel Music Radio. We've got 11th Hour coming up. I just got a single from them just a few days ago, the Churchmen and the Steels in the next set. Here's 11th Hour with He Still Does.
People say that he can heal the broken. People say he answers when we call. People say his arms are always open for the runaways, the outcast, and the lost. I've heard the stories of how he used to move, but I'm standing here today as living proof. He still does. He has never changed. He's still the God who's strong enough to save. And he's still here. He's still on his throne. If it seems he can't reach the too far gone, he still does. I can say he holds me through the trials. I can say that he's the closest kind of friend. I can say that he's been with me every mile, and he's promised to be with me till the end. I can tell 1,000 stories of how our God has proved, and I'm sure that you can tell 1,000 too. He still does. He has never changed. He's still the God who's strong enough to save, and he's still here. He's still on his throne. If it seems he can't reach the too far gone, he still does. He still does. He has never changed. He's still the God who's strong enough to save. He's still here. He's still on his throne. If it seems he can't reach the too far gone, if it seems he can't reach the too far gone, he still does.
tractor on his land. And I can't count the hours that I spent with that man. When we'd come to a fork, he'd take the road of gravel. He'd always say, son, this is a good road to travel. Broad is the road that leads to death. Don't let the devil have your last breath. Narrow is the road, Jesus won your battle. He'd always say, my child, this is a good road to travel. When I got older, I had choices to make. I had two roads before me. Which one would I take? We all face this choice. We all face this battle. I'll do like Grandpa said and take the road less traveled. Broad is the road that leads to death. Don't let the devil have your last breath. Narrow is the road, Jesus won your battle. He always said, my child, this is a good road to travel. Broad is the road that leads to death. Don't let the devil have your last breath. Narrow is the road, Jesus won your battle. He always said, my child, this is a good road to travel. A good road to travel. A good road to travel.
How many prayers can we pray? Just how long must we wait until you come and take away our pain? Time keeps marching on. By now I thought this trial would be gone, but here we are calling out to you still. While we're waiting, God, we will. Thank you for an answer that still hasn't come. Praise you for a mighty work that hasn't yet been done. Rejoice on the way. I see others finding victory, and I keep asking, why not me? We must be hopeful, though we don't understand. We will stand and sing your praise, 'cause we know that you are good always. Trying to find the faith that you will come through, waiting to see what you will do. Thank you for an answer that still hasn't come. Praise you for a mighty work that hasn't yet been done. Rejoice in the words we haven't heard you say. Thank you for the miracle that's on the way. I'm not jealous of the power you've shown in others' lives, 'cause I just know the day will come when you show it in mine. Help me to see with your eyes. Thank you for an answer that still hasn't come. Praise you for a mighty word that hasn't yet been done. Rejoice in the words we haven't heard you say. Thank you for the miracle. Oh, thank you for the miracle that's on the way. On the way.
Just came out yesterday. That's a brand new one from the Steels, Be the Reason. It's the name of the project, and On the Way was the name of that song. The Churchmen in that set, Good Road to Travel, and their latest is called Shadow of the Cross. Only been out a couple of days on that one. How about that? 11th Hour in that set as well. Actually kicked the set off with He Still Does, and that came to us in the February distribution of Crossroads Music for us. I really appreciate folks that get their music in, send their music in. Let's pass it on, let everyone take a listen to it with their ears and their heart. We got the Guardians coming up once again, the Churchmen and the Steels in that order. Here's one of the top tunes off the new Guardians project, or the latest Guardians project, we might say. This one's called Cast My Care.
I see people who hurt and wonder if they're just like me, trying to be strong when all hope seems gone, thinking that no one can see. But the secret I found is when I'm feeling down and I'm tempted to give in, I just go to the Lord, who reminds me once more to take all my burdens to Him. I'm gonna cast my care, knowing God is there with His arms held open wide. when the load is too heavy to bear. I'm gonna cast my care. Why do I hold on, do it on my own, when he says give it all to me? Try to figure it out, walk in fear and doubt. It's a lonely place to be. There will come a day when I slip away and these trials come to an end. When my journey is done, every victory is won, I'll rejoice, but until then, I'm gonna cast my care, knowing God is there with his arms held open wide. In his warm embrace, there's a resting place when I need somewhere to hide. I'm gonna give it up, fully place my trust in the one who is a tower of strength. When the load is too heavy to bear, I'm gonna cast my care. When the trial goes on and on, in my weakness he is strong. So I'm gonna cast my care, knowing God is there with his arms held open wide. In his warm embrace, there's a resting place when I need somewhere to hide. I'm gonna give it up, fully place my trust in the one who is a tower of strength. When the load is too heavy to bear, I'm gonna cast my care. When the load is too heavy to bear, I'm gonna cast my care. I'm gonna cast my care.
Heaven's not the place for your fears, and it's not the place to shed your tears. Leave them all behind and rest your weary mind. Heaven's not the place for your fears. Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. He'll save you from all sin and strife. Repent and turn away, within your heart he'll stay. Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. Above, love all mankind with the heaven's perfect love. He'll walk by your side if you'll let him abide. Keep your mind on heaven up above. Comforter from heaven he will send. A branch that's in the tree bears fruit for all to see. Just bow your knee and believe on him. Heaven's not the place for your fears, and it's not the place to shed your tears. Leave them all behind heaven's not the place for your faith.
A resting place. Every heartache has a home where worries all get much lighter, 'cause he will carry the load. Jesus sees a grain of sand when we just see a boulder. You can place everything on the King's shoulders. Every sin and addiction, or if you have an affliction, if it's depression you face, he can bear the weight. Each burden has a resting place. Every heartache has a home where worries all get much lighter, 'cause he will carry the load. Jesus sees a grain of sand when we just see a boulder. You can place everything on the King's shoulders. If a storm has surprised you, there's someone walking beside you. He has power in his hand, and he will help you stand. Has a resting place. Every heartache has a home where worries all get much lighter, 'cause he will carry the load. Jesus sees a grain of sand when we just see a boulder. You can place everything on the King's shoulders. Now you're feeling too broken. These are the words he has spoken. He will make all things brand new, and he will carry you. Each burden has a resting place. Every heartache has a home where worries all get much lighter, 'cause he will carry the load. Jesus sees a grain of sand when we just see a boulder. You can place everything on the King's shoulders. Each burden has a resting place. Every heartache has a home where worries all get much lighter, 'cause he will carry the load. Jesus sees a grain of sand when we just see a boulder. You can place everything on the King's shoulders. Oh, you can place everything on the King's shoulders.
Be the Reason is the name of the brand new project from the Steels. Really a fine project throughout. And that was On the King's Shoulders there. And let's see, the Churchmen have a brand new release. It's called Shadow of the Cross, and we had Heaven's Not the Place in that set. And the Guardians kicked that set off with Cast My Care off of their latest called Come On In. Anyway, you've been listening to the Gospel Go Radio Hour with your host. That's me, Danny Hensley. I'm your station and program host. And we've got one more. We'll do a partial set because we're just about to run out of time. But anyway, God bless. I really appreciate you taking time to listen, whether you're listening live to Southern Branch Bluegrass and Gospel Music Radio or on down the road on one of our many, many podcast outlets. Here's one off of our top 10 list that we had this past week. It's from Amos and Margaret Raber, and I enjoyed it tremendously when we played it before, so I thought I'd add it to the program today. It's called The Lily of the Valley.
I have found a friend in Jesus. He's everything to me. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. The lily of the valley, in him alone I see all I need to cleanse and make me fully whole. In sorrow he's my comfort, in trouble he's my stay. He tells me every care on him to roll. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. Griefs has taken and all my sorrows borne. In temptation he's my strong and mighty tower. I have all for him forsaken and all my idols torn from my heart, and now he keeps me by his power. Though all the world forsake me and Satan tempt me sore, through Jesus I will safely reach the goal. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. He will never ever leave me, nor yet forsake me here, while I live by faith and do his blessed will. A wall of fire about me, I've nothing now to fear. With his manna he my hungry soul shall fill. Then sweeping up to glory, I'll see his blessed face, where rivers of delight will ever roll. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul.
And built a small, lonely hill that he knew would be called Calvary. Then he made the seed that would grow to be thorns that would make his son bleed. Then he made the green stem, gave it leaves, and then gave it sunshine and rain, and sheltered it with moss. He grew the tree that he knew would be used to make the old rugged cross. Nothing took his life, with love he gave it. He was crucified I'd look down through time, saw him spat upon, rejected and mocked. Oh, still he grew the tree that he knew would be used to make the old rugged cross. Nothing took his life, with love he gave it. He was crucified on a tree he created with great love for man. God stayed with his plan. He grew the tree so that we might go free. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down.